Good evening, folks. You're very welcome here to Netwatch Cullen Park for the first of the Junior Football A Championship semi-finals. It is Leighlinbridge versus Rathvilly. Our coverage this evening brought to you with thanks to Carlow Electrical Services and J&J Services Limited. I'm joined here in the commentary box in Netwatch Cullen Park by a good friend of the podcast, one of our main contributors. The show won't go on without him, Mr. Stephen Bambrick. How are you doing, sir? How's things?
All right, Kevin. Lovely evening for it. Not a breeze out. Flags. There's not a stir of any of the flags.
You couldn't ask for better really this time of year, could you?
No, I'm pitching in great condition, considering it's getting 2 games a day every weekend and maybe another one during the week as well. So
and 4 today. It's going to have. This is game 3,
exactly,
obviously.
I suppose well irrigated anyway.
I guess on that topic, that's probably a pretty good place to start at this juncture. We have new senior camogie champions in Carlow. Mount Leinster Rangers saw off Michael earlier. Michael, who were going for 26 in a row. What a turn-up for the Bucks, Stevie. Big stuff indeed.
Yeah, like it's a seismic win for them. Like and their first ever crown. I don't think they were actually in existence when Michael won their first of the 25 in a row back in 2000. So, and like swings and roundabouts, Joanne Lawler would have won a lot of titles with Michael, and her daughter Roisin Joyce was playing with the aforementioned Mount Leinster Rangers today, and had no small part in that win. So yeah, and so the third time I think in the last 26 years Michael have been kept without scoring a green flag, and it's the first time they've not got enough points on the board to get over the line. So serious congratulations to Mount Leinster Rangers, and I'd say the celebrations will be good for a couple of days.
In fairness, just on that one, like you had kind of said over the past couple of years that the number one, that the gap was being bridged, I suppose, and number 2, Mount Leinster Rangers looked like a good side to have a pop at, jumping over it or ending that streak, and today was the day.
And today, I wouldn't say they were on top, there was no way they were on top the whole time, but they kept ahead most of the game. And, the goal, when they did get the goal, put 4 or 5 points up, and the second goal, Rachel Kenny came on as a sub, and her father sponsoring the programme, and there's a video up on Facebook, and like it's great to see thing like that when it does happen. So
yeah, powerful stuff. It wasn't just about Mount Leinster Rangers today. Satanta had a notable victory as well and winning the junior championship, their first title, and a massive thing for them.
Yeah, and they're 15 years in existence, and that's their first adult championship. They won the league earlier this year. So look, we're a small county. We need everyone, every man, Jack, every woman, that can be playing sport, whatever it is, put their hand up, and great to see victories being spread over different clubs.
Absolutely. Well, look, we'll delve into those victories, and indeed the minor championship victory for Baiderstown Gales last evening as well on the podcast Sunday evening as we recorded. Probably released Sunday night / Monday morning, but the best way there to stay tuned for the exact release time is to hit the follow or subscribe button on Spotify, Apple, or indeed if you're listening in here this evening, you might hit the old YouTube button, a subscribe click as well. So there are a couple of changes here for this Junior A Football Championship semi-final on the Rathvilly side, but we have heard a change on the Leighlinbridge side, at least one change anyway. So Chris Carney is coming in place of Keane Kavanagh, who's out with what we believe is a groin injury. Another change is well against the Fighting Cocks in the group stages, and probably has earned his spot there in at right corner back. 2 changes for Rathvilly as well. Pádraig White comes in place of Bryn Nolan, who is a considerable loss to the Rathvilly side, and also coming in at top of the left there is number 18 Dara Corcoran in place of Killian Malloy. As we said, today's coverage is in association with Carlow Electrical Services and J&J Services, signs and graphics. Them boys will put a sticker on anything for you down there, a rally car, a van, a few stickers for whatever you want really. And of course Carlow Electrical Services, when it comes to residential, commercial and business electrical, your go-to indeed. We thank them very much for the service. So the team's in full as we prepare for the throw-in. Leighlinbridge line out with Richard, I keep saying Richard Carney, I have RK there. I'm so used to saying it. He does the Irish F1 show with us as well, of course. So Chris Carney is in the goal. Then we have PJ Hockney, Daniel Barr and Ross Dermody. We have Casper, Cottle Brennan and Joey Byrne. Liam Brennan, the captain in the middle of the field. with Aidan Byrne, I should say, Keane Brennan, Aidan Lillis, Rob O'Byrne, and then Fico O'Toole, Charlie Nolan, and Aidan Nolan. On the Rathvilly side, Conor Elliott is between the sticks. The full back line, Robert Coleman, Owen Corcoran, and Senna Malloy. The half back line, Kyle Byrne, Luca Kavanagh, Tony Bulger, Kenneth Bellow, and Owen O'Connor Byrne, the captain in the middle of the field. Then you have Gerard Kavanagh, Pádraig White, and Conor O'Neill, and of course Jack Carroll, Brian Murphy, and Dara Corcoran. Stevie, Rathvilly had a great win the last day, unexpected to many against Palatine. Leighlinbridge were the favourites for the championship. I think there'll only be a kick of a ball in it personally. What's your thoughts on it?
The last day here, I think there was 3 goals in it, and Leighlin well worked the goals in. Got 2 in a minute once they couldn't put the game to bed. And I suppose Rathvilly be saying they need to stop Leighlin getting goals. They got a couple of cracking goals last day against the Fighting Cocks. And I can't see any kick of a ball in it. Now, Bryn Nolan will be a serious loss for Rathvilly, as will possibly Keane Cabinet for Leighlinbridge. But both teams have 15 against 15 going out, so the excuse factory is closed. It's knockout.
It's knockout. There is no messing around indeed. So our referee for this one is Peter Dorn of the Carlow Town Club.
Peter actually refereed the last game between the clubs and done a very good job on it.
It's going to be Casper up against Kenneth in the middle of the field for the throw-in here. Leighlinbridge will play into the Deer Park Road end, and of course Rathvilly then into the scoreboard end. In it goes, and we are underway, and it's Casper straight away who picks it up and goes across to Aidan Byrne. Aidan Byrne tackled, and the wing back Tony Bulger, experienced campaigner, in the mix there as well. So all about second, of course, in these opening minutes. Rathvilly very composed, as we said the last day, against Palatine, and Leighlinbridge, well, we know all about their endeavours over the past couple of years. They so badly want that Junior A title, as do Rathvilly.
Yeah, Liam Brennan coming from deep there. He's playing as a wing back there for the first minute of that, and he's pushed forward there now. I was just wondering, he was on Conor O'Neill, who was a big threat from kickouts the last day, but he's pushed forward, and he's on the ball there now inside the 45.
Yeah, that was a significant one in the group meeting, I think, between these sides as well, when Conor O'Neill was very influential for Rathvilly. On the ball there now for them is Kyle Byrne. Back to Kenneth Bellow. Rathvilly just easing into this one. Over comes Gerard Kavanagh. Rathvilly letting it slip momentarily there, but they've regathered it once more. Tony Bulger will calm things down. I'd like to think that he'll have a big influence on proceedings tonight with his experience. Leighlinbridge very compact, just about have the tree, and I'd say that 4 metres was kind of...
Yeah, but he's okay, I'd say, until he gets to...
outside the 4 metres,
near the 65, and in fairness he was looking, and also was Larry Murphy.
Here's Conor O'Neill, and that's gone to the left and wide. He can kick those, Conor, he's well able to do so, but it's noticeable how compact Leighlinbridge were for that attack, and how Rathvilly, I suppose, in essence, were maybe forced to shoot from that particular attack.
Yeah, and look, it's not a bad thing to make someone shoot from outside going off his right foot there. He's a strong right foot, but it wasn't going to be a hit and hope.
Chris Carney surveys the options. Keane Brennan the intended target, but Tony Bulger is going to gather it and set Rathvilly on the way once more. There's space inside in front of Brian Murphy. Brian, I suppose it wasn't a favourable delivery, he won't thank Tony for that one, and Daniel Byrne claims it, and Leighlinbridge are underway once more with Keane Brennan crossing the halfway line and making inroads towards the 45. Good run from Keane Brennan across to Aidan Lillis, a loose one, but Lillis does ever so well to usher it across to Rob O'Byrne. He's on the 21, he's on the 14. Rob O'Byrne with the shot, and that one is gone to the left and wide. So wide apiece here in the opening couple of minutes here in Netwatch Cullen Park. 2.5 on the clock.
Just prior to that, now, if Charlie Nolan is 1-on-1 inside, I think it would be an idea to kick an odd one in low to him, which could have been done before the pass went astray, and then just kicked it off to Rob. No, Rob should have probably scored as well.
Conor Elliott, the Rathvilly keeper. Out it comes on the stand side. Casper and Conor O'Neill rising for a breaking ball, favours Leighlinbridge and Robert O'Byrne. Neat 1-2 between Aidan Byrne and Liam Brennan. Aidan all the way across to Joey Byrne. And here comes Kyle Brennan.
Kyle Brennan's a big addition back from last year. Crucial loss in the county final against Ballin.
He was indeed.
Great for Leighlinbridge to have him back.
Yeah, great man to break a line, in fairness to him. Aidan Ellis takes a couple of plays, and then he has Casper coming off the shoulder. That's a good hit, in fairness as well, but Casper takes it very well. and off he goes. Needs someone coming on the loop. There is an option here now in Charlie Nolan. Nolan takes a couple of tackles. He's forced backwards. Good defending by Rathvilly, I have to say. And off they come now on the counter-attack. It is the captain, Owen O'Connor Byrne. Kenneth Bayo bursting through. Good burst indeed. And over it goes. And lost, actually, and regathered. It has to be said, I thought Rathvilly had spilled it there momentarily. I think it was the man just in there, Joseph Gibbons, wasn't he, late starter, as we said? Or actually it wasn't, in fact, it was Pádraig White. Maybe I'm probably getting a little bit old now, Stephen, but the numbers and me are not reacting well for Rathvilly this evening. They're kind of hard to see on the back of that jersey.
Welcome to my club.
But there's a certain counsellor that's involved with the left wing back, and we have to have a go at there just to see can he sort that particular problem out.
We'd like to have a go at him anyway.
Well, that's it.
Regardless of the jerseys.
Yeah, I deserves to, doesn't he, in fairness? Done great stuff last night actually for Grange and St Patrick's. We'll come back to that in a moment.
Luke Cavanaugh's gone down there holding his hamstring. He's up and going again. The Loughlin coming out and their Casper's outside his own D. Is it back to Liam Brennan? Yeah, it's very narrow down this stand side. It's a good hit by Conor O'Neill on Liam Brennan, in fairness. And Liam holds on to possession. Conor O'Neill chases. And Tony Bulger comes in and puts one on him as well. Liam Brennan takes 3 big hits, and the referee, Peter Doran, gives a free. In fairness, good tackling, good hard, fair tackling. Yeah, honest to God, and Liam done well to get out of the first one, but Tony Bulger kind of ambushed him then and made him more of a carry. Yep, strength in numbers. Rathvilly are going to be a tough nut to crack here this evening. Write them off at your peril. See PJ Hockley kind of filtering a kind of +1 in front of Brian Murphy. Yeah, that's you can see what they were trying to do there, Rathvilly, with Luca Kavanagh, but it was caught very well there in the end by Leighlinbridge, and off they go on the attack here with Fico O'Toole. Noel Dial is telling Aidan Byrne. Jack Carroll to stay in a bit closer to the goal. It's a good run from Aidan Byrne, but support needed. Back he goes to Aidan Lillis. Now Aidan Byrne once more. Ships a tackle advantage here. Keane Brennan will have a go. That's very good defending by Rathvilly, but unfortunately they had committed a foul a few seconds prior to that, so an opportunity perhaps for Aidan Lillis with 6 minutes heading for on the clock here to give us the opening score. The last Aidan Lillis only scored a free in the last kick of the game, and his scores weren't wanted. This is a vital one. 5 minutes in, 6 minutes in. Good angle for a right forward player on the 21. Yeah, the Loughlin crowd on the far side should nearly tell us when it's kicked how good it is. Lillis with that familiar style, just outside the D, in it goes and over the bar. Our first score indeed, and it goes to Leighlinbridge. It's I turn my views quite a lot on the podcast this year is a war of attrition, and I suspect given the way this game has started, the physicality that Rathvilly have brought to it, and indeed Leighlinbridge, that's what we're looking at here this evening as well. Yeah, look, the last day I think it was a 4-11 to 1-12 or something like that. It could still end up that way, but as it is there, just the first shot Loughlin have gone off and they've scored, so. Good kick out and good take there by Conor O'Neill. Yeah, in fairness, he's very good at it. Yeah, his distribution wasn't the best though. Carl Brennan picks it up and gives it to cousin Liam. Yeah, back to Cottle once more. Casper, I was going to say Casper ghosting up the stand side, pardon the pun, but it literally is what it was as well. And in fairness, he gathered the ball and held it very well, and back it goes to Liam Brennan. Rathvilly equally as compact, has to be said, so both sides kind of putting the 12 behind the ball out of possession. It wouldn't be a fierce unfamiliar thing, of course, but still an edgy affair expected as a result of this. Maybe it'll open up. Here come Leighlinbridge now with Charlie Nolan. Loves a goal, this fella. He's on the 21, sends it in off the right. That's a lovely score from Charlie Nolan, our first score from play in good score from this semi-final. Of course, brought to you in association with Carlow Electrical Services and J&J Services for all your sign and graphic needs. Don't forget, coming up at 7:45 this evening, we have the second semi-final, which is going to be an absolute slobber knocker between the Fighting Cocks and Kilbride. Very much looking forward to that one as well. That will be equally as physical as that out there at the minute, you'd imagine, Stevie. It should be a good one. Oh yes, look, local neighbours in one parish, and for it's knockout game. It's kind of a dialogue or produced the licence, so to speak, as you've mentioned previously. Yeah. Well, Peter Dorn's produced the free there for Aidan Byrne. And he's under 45 now. He's going to have a great chance. He's heading towards the 21. It's really opened up here. Rob O'Byrne going in on the blind side. Rob O'Byrne takes the pass. He'll probably have to come back. He goes off the left all the way across to the opposite wing forward. Keane Brennan out to young Nolan. No, yeah, he hits it in. I have to check to see it's Aidan, of course. Aidan and
Kieran's are identical, but that's definitely one that the father Pat would be proud of, swinging it off the left.
Yeah, he had a cultured left foot. I still don't know one from the other, the twins, so, but it's Aidan has made it 3 points to no score. It was a good ball across from Robert Byrne. Looked a bit awkward kicking with his left, but it worked out well.
Kick out once more. Again, the intended target was Conor O'Neill, so that's a notable play here from Rathvilly. Robert O'Byrne goes lateral, this time defeat O'Toole. O'Toole careering down the heart of that Rathvilly defence. Out to Robert O'Byrne, had a go already, wasn't successful. Has a go this time, is successful. We are heading for 10 minutes on the clock, and it's Leighlinbridge 3 points Rathvilly, no score.
You can go one better as 4.
All right, okay. Yeah.
And in fairness,
indeed,
they've had 4 attacks and they've made a score every time. And I suppose with the kick out, with the new rules and that, like you're nearly guaranteed possession going forward. If you get clean possession, you know you need a score going up every time. And thus far they've done so.
Yeah, the stand side is very much the side that Rathvilly are favouring. That was
it's like kind of bellows after getting winded there.
Yeah, kind of caught the ball and landed on it, I think, was it?
His elbow hit the ground first.
Yeah.
I'd say he's okay, I said, just he's definitely winded.
In fairness, when you have Kenneth and Conor O'Neill down this side, you know you've a fair chance of securing primary possession, and that's like taking into consideration Casper's there, Liam Brennan, and several others. It's a real sign of the strength that they have in that regard. I think from Rathvilly's perspective, I suppose it's just they're not able to get that last ball in as Brian Murphy would have liked so far, and that ball is leaving them with a bit to do as well. But there is a free in given there to Rathvilly, which they might get on with a solo and go. They have indeed. Out it comes to Kyle Byrne, all the way across there to Ger Kavanagh, now back with Tony Bulger.
So from a Rathvilly point of view, they'll be looking to get Brian Murphy some behind the ball at this stage. There's 11 or 12 minutes in here and hasn't actually felt the weight of the ball yet. And is it
that was Conor O'Neill territory.
They're changed there now.
In fairness, they're doing everything they can to try and feed Brian Murphy. It's just at times the ball has not been good enough. Ger Kavanagh might have a go at a 2-pointer here. He sent it in and high. It's going to go
short and
harmlessly out to the right and wide. So that's
I suppose the match of their first wide Conor O'Neill hit. They're shooting from outside the D. They were desperation efforts more than and that's good press from Leighlinbridge.
Yeah, it is. And look, Leighlinbridge have identified the danger with Brian Murphy and what he posed, and he certainly wouldn't have got to place if he was playing tomorrow, wouldn't he not? Still, I feel anyway.
Still looking at, you'd have worries if you had a quarter of an hour, 20 minutes.
Absolutely.
There's a great break from Conor O'Neill.
He'll give you a few headaches, I would. Here comes Owen O'Connor Byrne once more. Murphy bottled up there by PJ Hockney and Liam Brennan.
Yeah, good tackle by Liam actually. And
Hockney takes a return pass from Keane Brennan. Tony Bulger won't let him by easy. In fairness, PJ Hockney got by the would-be tackler in the end. Here's Joey Byrne. Has PJ Hockney to the left. Good burst from Byrne, but takes it into the traffic. Leighlinbridge will get a second bite at it. It's Hockney across to Joey Byrne. Joey Byrne sends it in, and that's gone over the bar. 5 points Leighlinbridge, no score Rathvilly. 12 minutes on the clock. Good composure there.
Great composure, and it's 5 different scores for Leighlinbridge already.
Yeah, not too shabby, in fairness, it must be said. Rathvilly just need that score on to settle down, because they're actually doing an awful lot right in this game as well. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
they're securing a lot of primary possession. They're just finding it very hard to get that ball in directly, and then Leighlinbridge, to their eternal credit, are getting men back and surrounding the danger men. Conor Elliott goes to the terrace side this time, and Liam Brennan rises and breaks, and it's Kenneth Mero who has won this one. Flies down that terrace side. There's nobody really coming with him just yet. It's O'Connor Byrne has snuck in there, I think, has he? Towards full forward.
The bit of joy that Rathvilly have got with passing that have been the fist pass in rather than a foot pass.
There's a big switch on here if Rathvilly can muster it. Tony Bulger inside to Brian Murphy. Daniel Byrne has the hand in. Back it goes to Conor O'Neill. Casper stands him up. Back to Tony Bulger, and now it's Kyle Byrne, the other wing back. Both are inside the 21 on the opposite side of the field. Leighlinbridge defending ever so well, it must be said. As I said, I think they've committed a foul there just a little bit overzealous from Robert O'Byrne, and there's going to be a free in here.
Yeah, he got
Rathvilly.
a good strong hand in, but the unfortunate part was his hand didn't come back out quick enough.
Correctly, yeah, it was left in there a little bit longer than it should have been, as the fella said. Now, Conor O'Neill, this is meat and drink to him. We've seen him do this for years upon years. He has had to battle injury, not just this year, but over the past couple of years, and you can just see that on the football he has. I hope I don't be going too much now and put the mockers on him, but it should be meat and drink. He strikes it well, in it goes. That's the first score for Rathvilly this evening here, just heading for 14 minutes on the clock, 5 points to 1. That should settle him down now, Stevie.
Yeah, exactly. It was something similar to Ed Ellis's free at the far end, bringing him with the right boot, and they'll be looking to push up now. And when they have the press on the kick out here, can Conor O'Neill, they got Joe the last kick out. Not going to get Joe this one though.
Yeah, in fairness, Joey Byrne did well to gather that from Chris Kearney. Keane Brennan across to his brother Cottle. And that was with Figo O'Toole. We're in 13 but playing very deep for Leighlinbridge. Philly getting back in numbers. I thought Casper's going to be going for steps there.
Yeah, he was very close.
That's clever out of Figo O'Toole to keep the ball moving. Across it goes to Aidan Byrne. Aidan heading towards the arc, I suppose, is the best way of putting it. He's not going to get any further, and Leighlinbridge forced to come back around with Liam Brennan. Liam Brennan to Figo O'Toole. O'Toole has Casper to his right once more. Throws a jink, a good one as well. And here's Cottle Brennan. Cottle Brennan good for finding gaps. They're on the 21, Leighlinbridge. Aidan Byrne sends this in, and that's gone over the bar. Another different scorer on the Leighlinbridge side of things. So 6 points to 1 in association with Carlow Electrical Services and J Services for all your signs and graphic needs. Stevie, it's just the first so far.
Well, going forward, Leighlinbridge are getting through. They call Brendan was in the he was the link to the end of that move. They're finding holes in the Rathvilly, between the 65 and the edge of the Rathvilly D. Now,
it's Conor O'Neill again.
Yeah, Conor O'Neill was the avenue for a lot of kick-outs last day, and is again. That'll be the only worry at the minute.
And that direct ball is a nice one as well.
Could be a problem.
Well, in favour of Rathvilly. Ross Dermody in a tussle there with Owen O'Connor Byrne, and the ball is kept alive. PJ Hotney goes in. PJ Hotney goes down over the ball, and he's been blown for a pick-up now.
That's
it could have went either way.
I don't know what PJ did in the whole lot around there. He got his feet under the ball, hands over, and got a clatter as well. But maybe there was a Peter Dorn's in a better position than we are.
Yep, so it should be one for Conor O'Neill to bring it back to 4. I suppose from my own perspective, growing up, when you're a coach, you've been told go down over the ball, you get your free, and
yeah,
I suppose that's
maybe where the inconsistency. But unfortunately, PJ, he got the clatter minus the free.
Yeah. 2 for the price of 1 in the negative. Here comes Conor O'Neill, and he pops it over to bring it back to a 4-point game with 17 minutes on the clock, 6 points to 2. He's been excellent under the kickouts. Like, Casper's strong, he's good in the air as well. We've seen that time after time. So, as you kind of said, I think that was just a throw-in thing where Liam Brennan went to right half back. But if Conor O'Neill keeps having that influence there, we might actually see Liam Brennan permanently stationed at right half back. Which
Casper's gone over the far side, trying to draw away from Conor O'Neill. The kick-out's been kept away from him, but Rathvilly won the break anyway.
And Tony Bulger off the right this time, sends it in towards Brian Murphy. Keeps Dan Barron for company. Here comes Murphy with that trademark left foot, sends it in. It's a dangerous one. Chris Kearney gets something on it, ball breaks loose, and in fairness, Ross Dermody was there to pick up the pieces. It was a dangerous one. I think Chris Kearney is in spot of bother as well.
He's taking his time getting up, and he hasn't got up yet.
I don't know who goalkeeper number 3 is for Leighlinbridge, but this is goalkeeper number 2 this evening with Keane Kavanagh out injured. How quickly could we get a transfer down? Would you fancy it?
Leave a tab in Chucky Brennan.
Speaking of Chucky Brennan, here comes Liam Brennan careering forward. He's heading inside the arc. He's heading towards the 21. He's going to be hard stopped. He's on the 14. He's on the ground now, and he needs support. Doesn't quite get it immediately, and Rathvilly get back there in numbers. Now we have a break in play as Chris Kearney receives a bit of attention from Tony Devine. Funny story while we have a break in play, of course, is that during the group stages we saw Leighlinbridge play the Fighting Cocks. It was quite a dramatic one. I think it was 4 or 5 points in it in the end, but it was level game as you entered injury time. Just before injury time, Keane Brennan gets a knock. goes down. Tony Devine, who I can safely say don't think ever got a yellow card in his playing career, receives a yellow card as physio for complaining about the belt that Keane Brennan got.
Yeah, I remember that, yeah.
Just one of the many mad moments from the 2025 Carlow football.
Well, Rooster's back up and Rooster's back being vocal, so I think he's okay.
Yeah, definitely if you can hear him, he's fine, 100%. That's a good direct ball in from Conor O'Neill, and is it a breach? Or is there a foul?
I'm guessing they're pointing over here whether the corner forward
off the ball.
A tug on Ross Dermody.
Okay, right, yeah. It was
actually, that ball
Conor Byrne, yeah.
That Rooster did get injured with Ross done well to cover back.
He did, in fairness, yeah. Daniel Byrne over to Ross Dermody. Byrne back to PJ Hockney. Hockney to Ross Dermody again. He's bursting forward, but he loses possession on this occasion. And Rathvilly will look to punish on the counter-attack. There's space inside in front of Brian Murphy if they can lift the head. Leighlinbridge in the meantime are getting numbers back. Rathvilly have an opportunity to lift the head now. Brian Murphy makes the run.
Dan Byrne is trying to mark from the front, and that's something you have cover, but he's doing okay so far.
Luca Kavanagh for Rathvilly has a runner here in Dara Corcoran if you can spot him. Instead he goes to Tony Bulger. Rathvilly playing keep ball just outside the arc here, and they're forced all the way back. A little bit of pace needed from Rathvilly's perspective. Kyle Byrne tries to inject that, goes at a couple of Leighlinbridge defenders. Robert O'Byrne is blown for a free. Rathvilly will have the advantage. Kyle O'Byrne has a go, it's going to come back out, and all of a sudden this is Conor O'Neill territory, albeit for 2 points, but we could be looking at a 2-point game.
Yeah, that's good direct run there by Kyle Byrne. Free all day long, and it's about 15 metres out further than he's taken the last 2 frees.
And he has struck them very, very well all year, not just this evening, but all year.
Peter Dorn is right behind it, so he's going to have a very good view of it.
He doesn't have much wind to contend with, in fairness. Here comes O'Neill, and he has pulled it. It might stay in play, in fact it does. Here's Brian Murphy. He had a goal-bound effort there, blocked down, I think, by Cottle Brennan, or Keane Brennan, I should say, in the end.
So his body got in the way.
And now Casper hits the deck, and Conor O'Neill wins the ball back. Rathvilly will look to switch this one through Tony Bulger. Bulger on the 45. Needs support, gets support here. Ger Kavanagh this time, still outside the 45 from a Rathvilly perspective. They're finding it very hard to penetrate, and Leighlinbridge are set up very, very well, it must be said.
Leighlinbridge had a Ger Kavanagh on him, scalded us a good few occasions.
He did indeed. Kyle Byrne back to Conor O'Neill for 2, just outside, and it's gone just outside the post. Yeah, so that's wide number 3, I'd say, from Rathvilly perspective. Yeah.
That's his second wide, kind of rushed, probably the wrong word. Another one dropped short there. The Brian Murphy shot was blocked down eventually. So that, and there's not a puff out tonight.
It went very well for them in the first half last week, but the second half maybe not so much. But here's a man that can make things happen. That's Brian Murphy, but he needs support. Here's Ger Kavanagh swinging it in. Has it just stayed in? I don't think it has. It's gone to the left and wide. So that's 4 wides for Rathvilly, 1 wide Leighlinbridge. 22 minutes on the clock, 6 points Leighlinbridge. Rathvilly 2 points in association with Carlow Electrical Services and J&J Services Science and Graphics. Chris Carney just slowing things down a little bit from Leighlinbridge perspective. Rathvilly have had a fair chunk of possession in the last few minutes. It's just not yielding scores from their perspective.
At the other end, Leighlinbridge have went up and they've had 1 wide and they've scored 6 points as well. So they've took their chances that bit better.
It's a hand on the back there on Liam Brennan, and he wins his free. I think Keane Brennan says, I'll have a solo and go here, and go he is going. He has Robert O'Byrne in behind. The kick pass not on. Rathvilly hesitate for a moment, but Elliott in the end comes out and gathers possession.
Yeah, I think that ball should have been given about 3 seconds earlier and low, possibly.
And about 3 metres lower.
Yeah.
3 is the magic number. Ger Kavanagh to Kenneth Penn. Now look at the space. If Rathvilly can get the head up and just deliver that ball, this is the time that they could punish Leighlinbridge. Leighlinbridge are a bit slow to get back, I must say, but they are back now in numbers, and Rathvilly have done them a favour by misplacing a pass.
Well, Rathvilly were also slow to support, I think, as well. They were
initially, it's good tackling from Rathvilly, but just that one hand too many, I think, maybe in the mix and left in there too long as Fico Toole pops forward. Aidan Lillis is blocked down very well. I think it's by Dara Corcoran.
It's one of the Corcorans, yeah, definitely the head of a Corcoran. It's
it's Dara there.
Yeah.
It's a super block now.
Great block.
But then this is the part you see where it's just getting from A to B that little bit quicker. That Rathvilly are finding
it's getting the hard yards in to get across up to the other 45 at speed as quick as you can.
That's a foul there, I think, by Charlie Nolan on Owen Corcoran. Owen's a very good footballer as well. Solo on go taken and support offered there through Porrick White. Robert Coleman in an advanced position. Back it goes to White. Good tackle there by PJ Hockney. Back to Coleman once more. Tony Bulger just hesitates and Leighlinbridge win it back through Aidan Nolan. Back to Casper. That's a foul with advantage given, and Cottle Brennan feeds Aidan Nolan once more to another Aidan, this time Lillis. He's on the 45. He has Charlie Nolan running inside. Charlie will have to check the run and go again. Cottle Brennan is the central option. Cottle Brennan receives. Now it is with Liam Brennan. Back it goes to Keane Brennan. It's all Brennans here this evening. But can Leighlinbridge register a score? They might have a chance at it now because Keane Brennan has been halted on the 21.
Yeah, it was a free all day long. Rathvilly complaining a small, but it was definitely a free. He got a good whack for himself. It should be an easy score for Aidan Lillis, and probably Leighlinbridge needed to stem the flow up here. Go back to 7 points to 2 to get this.
Massive thanks again to Carlow Electrical Services and J&J Services for allowing us to bring you the live audio here.
It's almost identical to the first point he got, nearly the exact same position.
Yeah, Keane Brennan is back up. Tony Devine has attended to him there and he's okay to go. Just a bit of a knock, but he has shaken it off. And Aidan Lillis steps up for the All Blacks, sends it in. No bother to him at all. 7 points Leighlinbridge, 2 points Rathvilly, 25 minutes on the clock. And that's kind of the difference, isn't it? It's whenever Leighlinbridge get those attacks in, they're yielding opportunities, and more often than not, they've ended up in scores.
Yeah, well, if you look at it, Leighlinbridge have 5 points in play, 2 frees. Rathvilly's 2 scores are from frees, so that's probably it tells you the possession slice in the game. A good box there from Casper.
Yeah, and it's going to be a Rathvilly.
I want you to pronounce your second name.
Yeah, I did it one day, and I'll have a go at it now, and I definitely won't get it right. So
yeah, there's a breach there, Rathvilly.
I know Casper fairly well at this stage, so I don't think he's going to mind if I don't make an attempt at butchering his surname, which I absolutely will if I try. So
I'll have a sideline down here because Rathvilly breached come in on the pitch taking the sideline, which I think is one of the stupidest rules possible going, that
you can't cross the
line. You have to be off the field of play for the field of play you're playing on to kick the ball.
In fairness, it's how far you should be allowed to come on then. I don't know what's going on here, but
Sean Cavan, I think, is getting a yellow card. Or no, looks like Sean.
I think it's Sean, yeah.
And in fairness to Sean,
he didn't get too many of them in his playing days. I can remember. There must be a team for this year between Tony Devine in an earlier game for Leighlinbridge and Sean Cavan.
That would have kind of tempted to say that maybe there wasn't much of a sin committed, but
I tell you, it just goes to show you what being on a sideline can possibly lead you to do or be.
Yeah.
Well, it does things to people, definitely. This whole sport does things to people, but where would we be without it? What would we be without it?
The thing about the ball is brought into the edge of the D now, and it's a guaranteed point for Aidan Lillis.
And this is because the mentor has given out, of course. This is the new rule, yeah.
So you have to bite
one
your
of the
tongue.
new rules. And then Aidan Lillis kicks it in. So, yeah, we're 2.5 minutes away from the end of the standard 30, and it's 8 points Leighlinbridge, 2 points to Rathvilly. It's just mad, isn't it? Like, Rathvilly have played enough football to be closer in this game. They really had enough of the ball to make it happen.
Yeah, probably had a half chance of a goal up there, and a couple of wides that they were under pressure taking, I suppose. Great battle with Casper and Conor O'Neill there. Kickouts landed on top of him again. Rathvilly get the free.
Yeah, and Conor O'Neill will take it. Options aren't exactly plentiful here, so O'Neill says, right, So a chance going long. And why not when you have a boot like that? This could break inside for Brian Murphy, but doing ever so well is Daniel Byrne there at full back. It's actually Ross Dermody, is it?
No, it's Daniel.
Daniel Byrne, no, it's Daniel Byrne, yeah. In fairness though, did really, really well. Attacked that ball. No nonsense whatsoever. As Aidan Burke comes forward, definitely takes too many steps. And Rathvilly now with possibly.
He thought he had an option on his left shoulder, and by the time he copped it, he had all carried it.
The solo and go has been utilised from a Rathvilly perspective with Kyle Byrne. Again, isn't it noticeable how much space Brian Murphy has been given in front there by
but the only thing about it is, there's a sea of black jerseys between him.
Yeah, as the ball comes in.
And there's a player gone down there. Is it Byrne again?
Kyle Byrne. Now look at Conor O'Neill might have a go from here. It is definitely one of the more difficult ones that.
But I think you have to put this in the ground.
Conor crouching on and affords to drop water too.
If he's given it from where the player is lying down, he's probably got a yard or two.
Yeah, so
I don't think he's going for
water, and he's.
Yeah, I can't see him going for maybe give and go.
He's going to go short. He has the option, and if he takes it back here, he's in a good position. Didn't quite get it. Kyle Byrne does instead. He has Ger Corcoran, or Ger Kavanagh, I should say, to his left. Can Rathvilly get that shot away? Leighlinbridge doing ever so well. O'Neill will have a go from here. I think he's pulled it, but he's going to be given a free. Didn't quite see. I was watching the flight of the ball.
I was actually the same. I said Casper came in and maybe
a bit of a collision, just
contact
inattentive
the ball
the block.
Gone.
In fairness,
I'd
say but it's a free nonetheless.
He's going into
and
the
it's going to be a card, it's there.
There will be at least 3 minutes of added time. At least 3 minutes of added time.
Tony Bulger's come forward to make his presence felt. Liam Brennan won't back away from a whole lot either. That's unstoppable force and a movable object there. And Tony Bulger has moved many an object over the years.
He has. I'd say it's still not going to stop the yellow card being issued to Casper.
Yeah, it's like create as much noise as possible in the hope that the yellow card will be forgotten, but more often than not ends up in more yellow cards actually than the one that is initially given.
I'm saying that Conor O'Neill is still down.
He is, and look at, as we said, he's had a very unfortunate run with injuries down through the years. From a Rathvilly perspective, he's been one of their leading lights here, not just this year, but definitely, not just this evening I should say, but definitely this year, and he will be a huge loss here. Hopefully he can continue, but he does look to be in a little bit of bother. In fairness, Peter Dorn has said to give him a little bit of space there.
The only thing about it is coming up to half time and there's 2 minutes left, that if he might have a chance to recover, but
during that break,
time will tell.
So we'll have a very novel intermediate football championship final pairing this year. We're going to have Grange and Ballin, which we've often said throw a blanket over it in terms of intermediate championship and see who ends up in the final. But for the second time in a couple of years, we're seeing a team who have qualified for the intermediate final that have come straight from junior. We saw Clonmore do it, and obviously they were successful in winning the intermediate that time as well, but now Ballin will look to repeat that feat. Grange, from their point of view, haven't been in a final since 2017 when they played Kilbride, who are coming up in our second game here this evening. So it's a novel pairing. I think this year's championship is nearly the gift that's keeping on giving with all these stories that are cropping up.
Yeah, but look, and they were seconds away from being out of the championship last week, Grange, and they just kept in it until last night again. John Murphy, kicks another one to keep him in it, and an extra time to see it out by 2 points.
Well, it looks like Conor O'Neill's race possibly could be run here. He's definitely going off gingerly, and he's not taking this free obviously because he is coming off, and that's going to be left to, I think it's Jack Carroll's going to have a pop at this. Interesting. Rathvilly, Stevie.
5 wide, that's their first from a place ball now. Obviously it was out 30 metres out and probably a slight angle. You haven't been taking the frees already.
I'd say this might nearly be the last action. If you have just joined us, you are listening to the Carlow Junior A Football Championship semi-final live audio. It is Leighlinbridge leading Rathvilly by 8 points to 2 in association with Carroll Electrical Services and J&J Services Limited for all your signs and graphic needs. Chris Carney sends that one out towards Liam Brennan. It's going to break favourably for Leighlinbridge, and Charlie Nolan is out in front, takes a play, has loads of time, And Space has scored already. Might think
See
about
about
another
who
one
if he
here.
gets him.
He has a goal. That's a
Doesn't need him.
super looking effort there by Charlie Nolan. His second of the evening, contender for score tonight so far.
Yeah, and I think if he can be got on more ball, he's making the runs. Mightn't be getting the ball, but that was a savage score. And it's 9 points to 2. It's gone to a 3-score game. If we're going in old money with 2 goals and a point.
Nicely put. Rathvilly are making a change, so unfortunately Conor O'Neill has had to come off there with that injury. I was saying he's a lot of strapping on one leg, but it's the other leg that seems to have given the bother.
Yeah, it looks like his left knee, but at least he had to walk off it. And that's
Killian Malloy.
Good at the minute.
Yeah, Killian Malloy is into the fray.
I've been told that's Robbie Malloy's young lad.
Substitution on the Rathvilly team. Number 15, Killian Malloy.
Yeah, it's a super.
Number 12.
Not super, that's the wrong choice of words. Significant is what I was going to say. Super would have been the wrong choice. Significant is the right choice in terms of how big that is, Stevie. Do you know what I mean? Like the kickouts and everything that.
Yeah, and he's an avenue for most of them. And just have going to get on with it now. Kenneth Bello pops the ball back to Pádraig White. They'll be looking for Brian Murphy to get on to this, or Jared Kavanagh. Half time is going to be coming very shortly.
Yeah, we're into the 5th minute.
Dropping short.
Time. It drops inside to Chris Carney, who gets another bite at it and comes out the stand side.
Peter Dorn's looking at the watch. It's done and dusted.
And that's it for the end of the first half of this Junior A Football Championship semi-final. It's Leighlinbridge 9 points, it's Rathvilly 2 points in association with Carlow Electrical Services and J&J Services as well this evening. Yeah, very, very enjoyable game so far, it has to be said. Just while we go to the half-time break, I want to give a shout out to our Club Football Championship podcast partners as well: Barrow Brew, Heron Sauna, Infinite Energy, DS Sports, Kevin Kelly Pharmacy, Fendon Heating and Plumbing, Chalky Rain On, Nurney Plant and Civil, Tully's Bar and Milano's. And we are recording our podcast on Sunday night. Hopefully we'll have it out Sunday night as well. We'll burn the midnight oil, or else it will be Monday morning, all going well. Stevie, we'll take ourselves a bit of a sabbatical and we'll break the audio here for a moment from the press box in Netwatch Cullen Park, and all the second half action to come. And obviously we've got Kilbride and the Fighting Cocks coming up as well at 7:45. So we hope you're enjoying the coverage so far. If you are logged in on your YouTube account, drop us a comment, let us know how we're sounding, and we'll check back in a couple of moments' time. Welcome back to Netwatch Cullen Park. We are just about to resume here in the first of the Talbot Hotel Junior A Football Championship semi-finals. If you have just joined us, it is Leighlinbridge leading Rathvilly here by 9 points to 2. Of course, the tail of the tape so far being the amount of scorers that Leighlinbridge have had on their side, with Joey Byrne, Aidan Byrne, Aidan Lillis, Rob O'Byrne, Charlie Nolan and Aidan Nolan all on the score sheet, with Rathvilly's scores coming from 2 frees from Conor O'Neill, who has had to depart due to injury. But we're up and running here now again. Kenneth Bello rises high and claims the throw-in. Rathvilly playing in towards the Deer Park end here in the second half. As we said, if you are listening to us, obviously you'll be listening to us on YouTube, but if you're logged into your account, just drop us a line, let us know how we're sounding. And don't forget, coming up later on, we have the second semi-final with the Fighting Cocks up against Kilbride. I think Rathvilly have been blown for it.
No, it's an advantage.
Yeah,
he had an advantage coming. So
now Rathvilly have to get trucking here, don't they? Big time.
Yeah, they'll have to go a different road. Conor O'Neill's gone off. Now that ball into Brian Murphy. Good strong hand by Dan Barron. He picks up the break and takes a good hit.
Yeah, that's good tackling, good shadow tackling there, in fairness, by Rathvilly, and Casper's been blown for steps. Kyle Byrne gets on with it with the solo and go. Back it goes to Brian Murphy. Tension forward here for Rathvilly. Okay, there's something going on off the ball. I was just trying to keep an eye there, hence the silence, and we're going to have a free for Rathvilly. I think it's on the 14-yard line. Leighlinbridge could do a lot worse than line the goal here now.
Yeah, there's a...
But Conor Byrne is taking his time. He's going to take the point and bring it back to what would be 6 points, with 9 points Leighlinbridge, Rathvilly 2, the current scoreboard reading. So Conor Byrne will have a go off the left. Sends it in. Has he just about got it? I think he has, you know.
Just for those of you who can't see it, went very high for a 14-yard free.
It did, yeah, and it went very much to one side as well, but it was just the right side of the post, crucially, as Chris Carney comes out. Head this kick out for Leighlinbridge. Plenty of movement here. Joey Byrne switching sides. Liam Brennan down in front of the stand here. Keane Brennan just to his left, with Tony Bulger for company. Liam Brennan is the intended target, but might be Joey Byrne rising for it. Liam Brennan does rise for it, and Joey Byrne goes for the break. It's going to be a Rathvilly line ball, which Kyle Byrne will have a pop at. It's not actually Kyle Byrne. He's going to leave it to Jack Carroll. Carroll will have to go in reverse, I think. Several Leighlinbridge players, and Leighlinbridge win the line ball. Brian Murphy was trying to do a Q-hoorism, I think.
Yeah.
Carried there and trying to get the line ball in his direction, but I think it was very clear as Leighlinbridge one.
First to Daniel Barron, he's coped very well with Brian Murphy. From the last day, he would have learned a lot the last day. HMM coming out from the match the last day, and he done very well in the last day as well, but Brian still got a couple of scores.
It's going to be tested again. Brian Murphy catches this
one
very well.
Goal
scoring opportunity. Brian Murphy takes the hop. Good defending from Leighlinbridge. Murphy has to go around the corner off the right, and it has gone wide.
Yeah, he just caught the ball right behind him, just as I was saying that, and two Leighlinbridge players down, PJ Hockney, and it looks like Ross Dermody collided with one another.
Well, I tell you what, right, that was a serious take from Brian Murphy. Tony Bulger had the ball, said, you know what, let's send it in anyway at all here, and Murphy has that capability to win his own one.
Yeah,
he's played midfield, of course, too, down through the years.
Yeah, well, any player, you know, like Brian has played county level, will have a number one, a good pair of hands. And, so I suppose for Rathvilly's look the way it's going, you know, it went an inch too wide for a point. Just nothing going right from here at the moment. But Physio going in there today.
Yeah, it looks like there could possibly be at least one change here on the Leighlinbridge side, and possibly two, with
Pete
Hockney
Hockney
and Ross Dermody
is
down.
sitting up a bit. Ross Dermody
is down.
Just getting attention. He's sitting back up a bit better now. That's the good sign anyway.
A few comments coming in underneath the YouTube stream here. Ballinkill and GA Club are in touch. They're, one of their admins is listening in from sunny Nurney. And Mick Nevin's listening in from Copenhagen as well. Good to hear from you guys. Fair play, thanks for getting in touch with us there. And a reminder that our coverage this evening, of course, with Carlow Electrical Services and J&J Services, Graphics and Signs. Looks like, I think it's Kilbride heading out for Warp, is it? Or is it the Cox? Hard to see. I'm definitely needing sunglasses. Sunglasses, not sunglasses. Proper glasses. And maybe sunglasses as well. I think they're doing 2 for 1s these days, aren't they? I think it's those lights are quite bright too. For a while there you needed sunglasses with the bright lights, didn't you, in here? But they did get it sorted eventually. Anyway, also getting sorted eventually looks to be Ross Dermody. Paige Hockney now looks to be the one that's in a little bit more bother. In fairness, the Rathvilly physio Becky Furlong has accompanied Tony Devine out on the pitch to
and in
to
fairness, when
players.
Conor O'Neill went off, he was in front of the Leighlinbridge bench there, and in fairness, like, sportsmanship was very apparent, and you know, we all want to win, but we don't want to see anyone getting broke up either.
Chris Carney goes straight down the pipe. Rob O'Byrne was the target, but Kenneth Bello gathers instead, feeds Tony Bulger. Rathvilly trying to establish a foothold in this game. Looks like Owen O'Connor Byrne zipping through there. Daniel Byrne does well to get the hand across.
He got the hand across, the guy's body across as well to kind of edge him out as well, which was
he's
really more important.
He's got very strong in fairness though, physically strong there at full back for Leighlinbridge. Kyle Byrne just lurking outside the 45, heading towards the arc now. Kenneth Bello off the shoulder. Kenneth goes across here to Ger Kavanagh, stood up by the recovered Ross Dermody, and Kavanagh now has a pop. Oh, and Chris Carney in fairness did well there. It was a dangerous one dropping in. And Joey Byrne
the one's under the it wasn't under the crossbar, it was actually at his head level, so he had to nearly make himself small to catch it. And that ball has gone out of play.
Yeah, nice hit there from Robert Byrne as well for good measure on Logie Kavanagh. In fairness, the linesman has told Leighlinbridge player just to watch that sideline there, lad. PJ Hockney goes across to Ross Dermody. The two of them weren't looking too healthy a few minutes ago, but they're the finest now. As Leighlinbridge go towards the terrace side, they're heading towards the scoreboard end in this second half. Joey Byrne, he's been lively, he's got a point already. He's always good for one every day for the All Blacks. He's on the 45 now, has a runner inside. That runner is Charlie Nolan. He's got 2 points to his name so far. Out to his right is Casper. Back it goes to Liam Brennan.
I suppose no panic.
Hits the post and a white favour Keane Brennan. Keane Brennan is along the end line. Charlie Nolan's to his right. Keane Brennan in on goal, and in it goes to the back of the net. Super for Keane Brennan.
Yeah, time stood still there for a split second, and I'd say he was content to put it over the bar, and next to the hole yoke opened up and it's a goal.
Well, he does have a knack for scoring goals in semi-finals. I definitely remember one here against Ballin a couple of years back. Possibly went extra time, I think.
That's like 193 points now. It's a
significant lead for Leighlinbridge.
Yeah.
Can Rathvilly respond? Leighlinbridge have momentum. Can they push on? Robert O'Byrne over the top to Aidan Lillis. Lillis heading towards the end line. Will need to recycle this one, you'd imagine. Robbie O'Byrne had that effort a few moments ago, which ended up leading to Keane Brennan's goal. Now it's Cottle Brennan over to Aidan Byrne. Aidan has a go, and the less said about that one probably the better.
Yeah, just that never happened. But back to the Robert Byrne shot, hits the post, comes down. I think that's where Keane Brennan got the goal off, wasn't it?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
You know, you often see it fall into someone's hands and it's gone out the field, but you know, you have to be awake to, and Keane Brennan, that's another different score for Leighlinbridge. There's about 8 different scores at the moment.
Rathvilly, can they work a score? Owen Corcoran, before mentioned, to Luke Kavanagh. Over goes to Dara Corcoran. Corcoran thought we having a pop. Lovely side step, lovely effort from Derek Corcoran, but just to the right and wide.
I suppose you're looking at the Rathvilly team. You know, if you mix of youth and experience, the likes of Derek Corcoran, Owen Corcoran, Luca Kavanagh, these lads only 18, 19 years of age. You've the likes of Tony Marina with Tony Bulger, Brian Murphy, you know, as well. You know, so they're going to be learning on the job here. Substitute coming in for Rathvilly. Looks like Keith Kern is coming in.
Yeah, Keith Kern, indeed. I see Paul Kern down there as well. You know, significant with the seniors a couple of years back, if I remember correctly. Yeah, so
Keith Kern replaces number 10, Jared Kavanagh, on the Rathvilly team.
Keith Kern for Jared Kavanagh. 40 minutes on the clock. Leighlinbridge 1-9, Rathvilly 3 points. Rathvilly gather the kick out with Luca Kavanagh. Lateral it goes once more, but now they're central. It's a dangerous one indeed. Brian Murphy's underneath it there. Brian Murphy hits the deck. It was Conor Byrne, I think, who sent that one in around the house. Neat one too, I should say, between Liam Brennan and Aidan Lillis. Brennan careering forward, heading towards the halfway line. Aidan Byrne has a man to his left. That man is Feek O'Toole. Feek O'Toole across now to Joey Byrne, and Leighlinbridge get inside that Rathvilly half. They're heading towards the 45. Just on the edge of the arc now is Joey Byrne. Across it goes to Robert O'Byrne. He'll have a bit of work to do to keep this one in.
Yeah, he'll have to go that corner.
All the way out to Feek O'Toole, and that would be the correct call from Feek O'Toole. But Charlie Nolan says maybe we'll have a go here on the blind side. It worked out well for Keane Brennan a few moments ago. Aidan Lillis has a go from a very difficult angle. It hits the crossbar and over it goes. Super score from Aidan Lillis.
Yeah, and they snuck in along the end line. Something a bit similar to the goal they got. Just, you know, didn't panic. Robert Byrne brought the ball back out, and then with Charlie, I think it was 1-2 with Aidan Lillis, and Aidan gets a point, and it's 1-10 to 1-3.
It's definitely serving them well, because I suppose most coaches out there would have insinuated, or I suppose insisted, a better way of putting it, on the ball coming back around the arc. Charlie Nolan says, no, I'll go down the blind side, and that's the type of maverick player he is, and he brings Aidan Lillis in for the score from a very difficult angle. 1-10 to 3 points now, Leighlinbridge lead. Can Rathvilly muster up something? If anyone's going to do it, it's probably this man, Brian Murphy. But Leighlinbridge have that second body at all times. Yeah,
that second body is Carl Brennan. As I said, he was missing last year, he's back this year. And, you know, it's not by accident these lads pop back into these positions, because if Dan Barron needs a hand, no better man than Cahill to pick up the break, and he did need a hand that time.
Oh, Aidan Lillis just about gets that across to Liam Brennan. There is going to be a change here for Leighlinbridge with Kieran Nolan, twin brother of Aidan, looking like he's going to enter the fray. Goal scorer Keane Brennan in possession now. Over it goes to Feek O'Toole. Liam Brennan now. Liam takes a couple of solos, and back it goes to Joey Byrne. Byrne back to Brennan. Leighlinbridge in no panic, in fairness. Composed play with 42 minutes on the clock and a 10-point lead. That's a good tackle from Kyle Byrne on Liam Brennan. Liam Brennan takes the tackles well though, and he's heading for the 14-yard line. Liam Brennan, and definitely the term I used was less said the better for Aidan Byrne a few moments ago. You can times two that for that effort from Liam Brennan.
Yeah, he was like a horse slipping in the yard on a frosty morning. All the legs went from under him as he just took the shot.
Nolan replaces number 12, Rob O'Byrne.
He might pour himself a hot whiskey and chocolate rain on later on, and maybe a brandy perhaps, just to forget about that one. Drink responsibly, folks.
For medicinal purposes.
For medicinal purposes. Well, for all your sign and graphic purposes, J&J Services, our match sponsors, are your point of contact, and any residential, commercial, industrial, electrical work, Cahill Lawler of Carlow Electrical Services and his team will see you looked after. Keane Brennan,
yeah, he's come back with
so long ago.
Yeah, was Liam at
bit of a lull. I think there's maybe a sense of, is it unfair to say, inevitability, even though it's only like 10 points is a lot less significant than what
yeah, but a lot of way the scores are coming, like Rathvilly have yet to score from
flow
play.
Of the game, yeah.
Here's Keane Brennan in again.
Another goal scoring opportunity perhaps for Leighlinbridge, but Peter Dorr makes the right call and blows Keane Brennan.
Yeah, and it's going to be 50 metre and penalty here as well.
For a bit of descent.
I have a funny feeling if I was Rathvilly, I'd be letting this rip into the full forward line where it's 2-on-2 inside.
Yeah, they're going solo and go.
Can't go solo and go.
It's solo and 1 out and take the kick.
Yeah, and if he'd got the head up, Brian Murphy was after making a run. That run is gone. But still 2-on-2 inside. We need to get over Liam Brennan's head.
That direct ball is in. That's a good one now in towards Brian Murphy. But that's, again, very good tracking by Dan Barron. A very good cover from PJ Hockney this time. Like, he just can't get space, Brian Murphy. It's serious defending from
he's an advantage coming here now. Probably the first time he's been fouled.
And Luca Kavanagh sends it in around the house. A long advantage. Could be a goal scoring opportunity for Rathvilly. And Casper clears that one off the line.
Yeah, it's just another whistle. The whistle had gone, but just these, how long you'd have to need to let the advantage go, even though it's now 100% gone, it could have trickled into the net.
It's got to a stage here that occasionally the hands are nearly up, as long as they're down from officials with these advantages.
So Brian Murphy knows, if Leighlinbridge said it was going to be 45 minutes before Brian Murphy got his name on the score sheet, if he does get this, they would have been saying happy days, and Rathvilly would be saying the total opposite.
Here he comes, Brian Murphy. We have seen that a few times before over the years. Sweet a left foot, as you will see anywhere. What a player, Brian Murphy.
The last county final, forever. Yeah, it is. There's a couple of people who want to say what club they're from are asking questions here about the advantage role.
And we have to bring in our referee correspondent David Hickey, who I can see here to my right hand side, just to clear this one up for the contingent here in front of us. I certainly don't know the rule on that one.
Yeah, well, I think it's ongoing. It's ongoing. I think it's kind of
it's going on and ongoing. So yeah. Okay, free there for Leighlinbridge. It is 110 to 4 points. Leighlinbridge leading Rathvilly here with 46 minutes on the clock. Joey Byrne will get a second bite at this. PJ Hockney is down the blind side here. Charlie Nolan just in front of him. PJ gets inside.
Coming again.
Tony Bulger. Now it's with Keane Brennan. Keane Brennan sends it in, but it's going to come back here for the free.
And we have no question from the same people that asked about the previous advantage. So,
yeah.
we'll let you have a guess which club they're from. I think, seriously, no, I think the advantage going forward is nearly kind of
an eternity until the end. And Conor O'Neill has returned.
Number 13, Jack Carroll.
Yeah.
12, Conor O'Neill, replacing number.
And in fairness, I said to you, Kevin, at half time, I seen Conor O'Neill coming out and he'd no tracksuit on him, and that kind of alerted me either he doesn't mind the cold or he's going to be coming back on. And he's gone in full forward here at the moment.
Yeah, look, he's a serious player. There's
a far kick from Charlie Noel from a free. That's a 2-pointer. That's a 2-pointer.
Nothing wrong with that at all. So that's 4 points for Charlie Noel in this game. Because he's got 2 from play. And obviously that 2-pointer as well, which brings us to 112 to 4 points now, all of a slap.
Yeah, and it's gas because Aidan Ellis would normally take the frees, but Charlie obviously felt maybe it's out of Aidan's range, and sure. When better to try it. Well, when better to try it if you are, 10 points up.
It's Kieran Nolan rising for that kick out. Keane Brennan gathers, feeds his brother Cahill, but the ball is misplaced. An opportunity for Rathvilly here now to pounce. Direct ball in towards Brian Murphy. Brian has runners off the shoulder. One of those is Kyle Byrne. To his right is Owen Conor Byrne, the captain. Over across comes PJ Hockney. Goes for an opportunity for Rathvilly. Rathvilly brought to the ground, and that's going to be a penalty, Stephen Bambrick. Yeah,
Liam Brennan, I suppose, when I think it was Darragh Corcoran felt the contact, hit the ground, and it's a penalty coming. I'm guessing Brian Murphy will be the taker.
Brian Murphy indeed will be the taker. It's 48 minutes on the clock. It's Leighlinbridge, 112 is Rathvilly, 4 points.
But that's the first time they got moving. The first time they got moving that where it went through the hands quickly, and you see what the damage they could do.
So it will be Brian Murphy of Rathvilly up against Chris Carney of Leighlinbridge. This to bring it back to 8 points. Brian Murphy steps up. Murphy strikes. Murphy converts. 1-4 Rathvilly, 112 Leighlinbridge. A lifeline for Rathvilly.
Yeah, and look, years of experience. He was more than likely going to score. Chris
rolled it away superbly, didn't he?
Yeah, he waited. I suppose Chris moved a bit to one side, and the punishment probably faded the crime, I suppose. So that's Peter Doran talking to Larry Murphy there now at the moment. So something has been said or someone.
Owen O'Connor Byrne, I think, is going to be spoken to by Peter Doran. That is the captain, of course, for Rathvilly. Liam Brennan, who is marking at the minute, is the captain for Leighlinbridge. It's all to play for now in the last 10 minutes. The momentum shifts to Rathvilly, but can they capitalise and win this next ball from the kick-out? Possession crucial here. Chris Carney aims towards Liam Brennan. Liam Brennan rises with one hand. There's a hand on the back by one of Conor Byrne, so Leighlinbridge will have the free here. They've gone on with it quickly. The solo on goal utilised by Joey Byrne. Fico Toole. Aidan Byrne back to O'Toole once more. He has a man ahead of him. That is PJ Hockney. PJ Hockney on the 45.
Advantage coming
for Leighlinbridge. Aidan Byrne again sends it to the left and wide. Now, if one Keane Kavanagh was on the field, this will be very much in his territory. But we have seen two Charlie Nolan in the last couple of minutes. Two by name, two by nature in terms of 2-pointers. And this is a 2-point effort.
Yeah, and Charlie Nolan is going towards the referee and Nillis vice versa. So Charlie's going to have a go. It's halfway between the edge of the D and the 45. So I presume by the time he kicks it, he will be on the edge of the D.
Score of a 2-pointer already, and another 2 from play to boot. Can he add to it?
Stopping
Charlie
short.
Nolan strikes it. It lands in around the goal mouth. Rathvilly deal with it. And out comes Kyle Byrne again. He's really injecting pace into their efforts. He's even trying to get Tony Bulger.
Well, Charlie Nolan wasn't bad enough shoulder, and then Tony Bulger got him on as well.
Yeah, that's the sandwich nobody wants to be in, to be honest with you. If there's anyone out in the field here this evening.
There's a bit more purpose for Rathvilly in the last couple of minutes, obviously, urgency and that goal.
Is. And this is what they can do. We've seen it against Palatine. We've seen it on a number of occasions. They are fit, they are mobile, they have experience. Speaking of experience, here's Brian Murphy attacking that one with great gusto.
And
but
in
back
fairness
to
to Dan
numbers
Barron, he was stuck to him that when he did get the little nudge, he didn't get the ball, and out come Leighlinbridge via Keane Brennan.
Keane Brennan across, that's a good advantage from Peter Dorn, and out goes Kieran Nolan. He's heading for the arc.
Good ball.
That's a clever ball in towards Charlie Nolan. Nolan takes a solo. Might have a go for goal. It's a lovely sidestep. He's bearing down on goal. Goes past one, goes past two. Goal score opportunity. Here's Aidan Nolan! Super move from Leighlinbridge. Composed finish from Aidan Nolan. And Stephen Bambury, that could be game, set and match.
You'd be thinking so. We're in the 52nd minute now, and Charlie Nolan kind of saw a bit of a dummy at the far on the end line. A bit similar to the first goal that got in very easily along the end line. Gave the ball across to Aidan Nolan, and Aidan, Chopper's only 18 years of age. Cool and composed, buried it, and possibly has buried Rathvilly's hopes once and for all.
2-12 Leighlinbridge, 1-4 Rathvilly in association with Carlow Electrical Services and J&J Services for all your sign and graphic needs.
And actually, I think Aidan Nolan was involved in, he gave the ball originally to Charlie Nolan in the lead up to the goal, so
Rathvilly were just about coming into it, but they're not going away. They're venturing forward here once more, but they do have a mountain to climb. Now again, you would have thought that Brian Murphy's penalty gave them the lifeline and the impetus they needed, but things are just going against them now. They've given away a free. Liam Brennan takes a solo and go, but Peter Dorn says stop and whoa.
it's for a pick-up. Didn't see a pick-up. I thought the ball was off the ground, but
I think this is going to be brought forward now.
It's going to be brought forward now, so whatever happened, it's going to the edge of the D, and Charlie Nolan is not going. It's actually going to the edge of the old D, we'll call it. So Aidan Ellis has the ball in his hands. 2-12 to 1-4, 53 minutes. We'll have probably at least 3 or 4 minutes stoppage for the stoppage to Ross Dermody and PJ Hockney earlier in the half. And Aidan Ellis, is that coming in? I don't think it's coming in far enough.
No, it's out and wide.
Yeah, and for an Aidan Ellis free, they generally don't go that height. So, forward wide again for Leighlinbridge. Rathvilly have 7. Substitute coming in from Leighlinbridge here. Johnny Stringer is coming in.
Yeah, Johnny definitely played, I think he played all the group games actually for Leighlinbridge, started I should say. Kyle Byrne venturing forward. In fairness, he's been very good for Rathvilly this season.
He has, yeah, he's trying to get forward every opportunity.
He needs help there though and support, and he's just ran out of road and Leighlinbridge win it back. Keane Brennan. Now it's with Joey Byrne. This is good from Leighlinbridge. Look at
PJ Hockney on the far
side. And Aidan Lillis super running. Across it goes to PJ Hockney and Aidan Lillis. Lillis bearing down on goal. And he sends it in and over the bar. 2-13 to 1-4. Lightning quick counter-attack, it must be said.
And it has to be with the rules the way they are. You have to be kind of bombing forward as a unit. And PJ Hockney was the original one we seen. We didn't see Aidan Lillis. And Aidan was closer to the goal. It was the right ball. So 2 substitutions coming in here, Alfie Barco and Johnny Stringer.
So Ross Dermody, I think, is making way, and Casper is making way as well. Alfie Barco, prominent for Leighlinbridge in last year's championship.
We'll give George 7 out of 10 for the pronunciation. George rang earlier and he must have known what Leighlin were going to do. They were going to take off Casper at some stage.
George, as good as any to foresee an eventuality.
Yeah.
Here's Aidan Byrne, Fico Toole, Aidan Lillis pops it in towards Charlie Nolan. I don't think was expecting it. Meant to run the opposite kind of direction, so it's going to be a free out for Rathvilly with 5 minutes left. It's all Leighlinbridge here. 2-13 Leighlinbridge, 1-4 to Rathvilly. Second game to come, of course, at 7:45. We'll be on a different link for that, but they are both posted up on our socials on Instagram, Twitter and on Facebook at the left wing back. Lovely ball sent in there towards Brian Murphy. He's been marshalled very well by Dan Barron and the Leighlinbridge defence in general. But he'll have a go at one here, Brian Murphy. In it goes and over it goes. When he gets the space, when he gets the time, when the effort goes in, they're very seldom wide.
Yeah, well look, he won a county final nearly single-handedly here a couple of years ago, and he hit onto that barrier. An exceptional player.
Could we see him tomorrow perhaps?
I'd say
stranger things have happened.
Stranger things have happened, yeah. He's definitely good enough to be given any game time, 20 minutes, quarter of an hour, whatever. He could start in another year, but
son Jack is not too shabby at park runs either. One more than he was down there. Was it 21 or 2 minutes maybe?
Yeah,
and 12 years of age?
He's fairly tidy with football. I seen him there earlier when coming in here.
Maybe toned the line there in fairness. Here's Aidan Byrne. He has Alfie Barco to his right. He has Charlie Nolan to his left. Over goes to Barco. Barco takes the hop, takes a bit of contact as well. Needs to get the ball away. It does get the ball away, and Rathvilly back there with Tony Bulger. Bulger sends one up. I don't know what he was intending there, but it did not work out. He knew straight away from the minute it left his boot that it wasn't going to work out.
I see that.
Joey Byrne, he's got one already. Maybe another point perhaps for the All Blacks. Is that Fico Toole? And Tony Bulger can do, Toole can do as well, but Charlie Nolan gathers that one and lets it drop, and I'm not quite sure. It's a penalty. Right, okay, it's a penalty. So obviously Peter Doran has spotted some sort of contact on Charlie Nolan perhaps as he's going for the ball. Didn't quite definitively spot what has happened there now, and there's a sense of amusement in the stand, I have to say, but nonetheless, Leighlinbridge will have a penalty.
The lad says,
well, it's not a penalty in fact. It's going to go for 21-yard free.
Well, he signalled for a penalty.
Yeah, that's what I thought initially. Maybe he's changed his mind. Has he had a conversation with
if it was handing the ball on the ground, I don't think it can be a penalty.
Okay, so it's technical foul if that's the case, yeah. I wasn't too sure. I thought it was maybe the contact on
black card for...
Yeah, it's a Rathvilly black card.
Well, this was a pull.
Is it Porrick White?
No, it's
Keith Curran. Yeah, Keith Curran indeed, who's received the black card. So we've got a minute and a half of normal time remaining, and it is Aidan Lillis who will step up here and should put Leighlinbridge onto a tally of 2-14 as Mark Brennan prepares to enter the fray. 2-14 Leighlinbridge and 1-5 Rathvilly. A change on the Rathvilly side as well. As we said, Mark Brennan is in for Leighlinbridge in place of Joey Byrne, and for Rathvilly looks like Sean Corcoran is in.
Substitution on the Rathvilly team, number 21 Sean Corcoran is replacing number 22 Porrick White.
Yeah, Porrick White has departed down here as well. Stevie, I suppose it's a tale of, I won't say a particular quarter, but definitely a turning point seemed to be Rathvilly are coming back into this game. They get back to 8, they have momentum, and then the screw gets turned once more, and
the goal
that's
and
really the
then
killer
a
in the
point
game,
after,
isn't
we
it?
get a 2-pointer nearly straight away as well, and Jeffrey Dorn is coming in there now as well, so
Leighlinbridge emptying.
but the good spread of
bench.
scores, we always say that you need a good spread of scores. Like Fico Toole hasn't gone on the score sheet, and he's good for 2 or 3 points any day. County final or first round, so at least 5 minutes just heading into that there now, so
5 minutes of additional time, 2:14 to 1-5. Will be difficult to foresee a Rathvilly charge, it has to be said, but they're not going away. Kyle O'Byrne is venturing forward again, and Leighlinbridge now will have a goal-bound effort. You'd imagine if they can move the ball quick enough. They've got 3 up here against 1.
great ball from Keane Brennan, Nillis.
8 on board. In it goes Charlie Nolan, always good for a
Great
goal.
save.
That's a super save.
Great strong hand.
Another opportunity here for Leighlinbridge, in fairness, to get a point. Aidan Lillis has got a few of those already this evening. He chips this one in, and the umpire says that is in and over the bar. It was a super save from Conrelli, it has to be
Very
said.
strong hand. He came out, slid under, made his body, made himself big, and in fairness, he was Joe look and great save.
Great save indeed. So as we said, we will have 5 minutes of additional time. We have 30 seconds of that played already. And Rathvilly, to their turn of credit, we mentioned already, they haven't gone away, in fairness. But the game, unfortunately, seems to have.
Yeah, but they'll stay going. That kicker was going to be Liam Brennan's, I'd say. Definitely has opened up since the substitution we made now, I suppose. You might be marking the same lad you were marking at the start of the game if you did start it. Change we made. Nillis, that's dropping short.
In fairness
Good
to
hands.
Conor Elliott, he gathered that one well.
Of course, Kenneth Bello can't go back to the goalkeeper. It would have been the go-to move there if it was last year.
And there's a lot of junior C keepers in particular that are happy that that's the case, I think. I don't know, would you be a fan of it or not?
I'd be a big fan of it if I was in the goal. I don't want to play the ball at all. And he
2 hops there now, I think, is it? So long goal taken from Keane Brennan. Goal scoring opportunity here now once more. Brennan across to Charlie Nolan. Had a goal scoring opportunity a moment ago. Back to Keane Brennan. He's got one already. And Leighlinbridge just settled for the point. Alfie Barco sends it in off the left. Good score from Alfie Barco. And another score on the Leighlinbridge side.
Yeah, great to see Alfie getting the score sheet. Was wing back last year and come on there and has done a lot wrong since he came on.
It's Jeffrey Dorn.
Jeffrey Dorn replaces number 8, Liam Brennan.
Yeah, Liam Brennan of Chalky Brennan fame, one of our podcast partners, makes way. Again, big shout out to J&J Services for all your sign and graphic needs, and for all your commercial, industrial, residential, electrical side of things. Carlow Electrical Services is who you contact there. We're nearly done and dusted in this first one. Don't forget, again, just a reminder, at 8:15, we have another link up for live audio of Kilbride versus the Fighting Cocks in the second Junior A Football Championship semi-final. It looks like we know at this particular stage one of the teams who are going to be contesting that, and that indeed looks to be Leighlinbridge. That's a high tackle from Charlie Nolan. It's probably a yellow card, I would think.
Yellow card. One thing I suppose that Leighlin will have put to bed tonight is, like last year, I think they beat Ballin early on in the championship and lost them in the final on the right, and this year they would have beaten Rathvilly early on, so you're coming in to try and beat the same team twice, and actually they beat them in the league as well in the playoff. So you know, it's not always a thing that happens.
I actually said, I was thinking back on this last year. I was saying it's hard to beat a team 3 times, but in actual fact it was Leighlinbridge's 4th time, I think, playing Ballin, because they played them in the league, the league final, then the group stages, and then the championship final. So yeah, that's what it is. It's another monkey off the back. I think it's very fair to suggest and to state that, Stevie, in fairness, as Tony Bulger has Aidan Nolan on his back there for a minute, and does well to shake him off. We're about 90 seconds away from full time. I think Keane Brennan has said, I need to get out of here, I am under the cosh. He's definitely having a word with the management team on the Leighlinbridge side there.
I think the boys are more worried to keep him on the field. Well, no, he's off the field.
He's off the field, but I'm not quite sure what the scale was there, but he's heading back towards the halfway line to try to rejoin. It's Ken Bello to Owen O'Connor Byrne.
I mean, Conor O'Neill has gone in
now, isn't it?
They've worked through the hands a couple of times good in the second half, but since Conor O'Neill has gone in, they haven't kicked one long ball.
He's been in like, what, 15 minutes at this stage?
Yeah.
You know, that's another significant factor, I think, from
Come
their
in
perspective.
47 minute.
Now, can Leighlinbridge finish here with a flurry? About 40 seconds left on the clock. Aidan Byrne takes a hop. Over goes to Jeffrey Dorn. Fico Toole to his right. Johnny Stringer going off the shoulder as well. But it's instead tipped forward to Cathal Brennan. Now it's for Aidan Byrne. Leighlinbridge very fit, very mobile. Lovely pass inside towards Mark Brennan. Mark Brennan sends it in. And he becomes yet another scorer.
Could be their 10th score.
It's an amazing return, in fairness, in terms of the spread.
Yeah. And like the ball through, great ball, and the run as well, complemented with the point. One kicked over the bar, and that should be the last score of the game. I'd say we're just gone into the end of the 65th minute, and 5 minutes were a lot, and Peter Dorn is walking towards the...
And that indeed is the last action of this game. Leighlinbridge are through to the Junior A Football Championship final for the second year in a row. They've beaten Rathvilly by 217 to 1-5. Thanks a million to Carlow Electrical Services. Thanks a million to J&J Services. We're going to break the link, and we will be back in about 15 minutes time on the other link for the second game coming up, which of course is the Fighting Cocks and Kilbride. But again, just to say a quick shout as well to our podcast partners. We'll be recording the podcast tomorrow night. Of course, Sparrow Brew, Heron Sauna, Fenton Heating and Plumbing, Chalky Brain-On, Nurney Plant and Civil, Infinite Energy, DS Sports, Tully's Bar, Milano's, and Kevin Kelly Pharmacy. And just a shout again to our match sponsors, Carlow Electrical Services and J&J Services. We'll get a bit of post-match. Keep an eye on our socials at the Left Wing Back, and chat to you again very, very shortly indeed.